Yo, what's up guys? Midnight Osiris here, and in this video, I'm playing some Domination on Villa. Uh, it's a pretty good game. I start out with the M60 and start picking up more weapons throughout the match, but this video isn't really about the gameplay. Uh, I don't know, I was just sitting around earlier today, sorry, and I thought about, for some reason, I thought about a phone call that I had with a friend when I was like, I don't know, I was probably 10 or 11, maybe 12, back when I still used a home phone. And for whatever reason, we got on the subject of gaming. I shouldn't say for whatever reason. Games are really all I used to do when I was around that age. It was either card games, any kind of game, video games, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, even that crappy GameCube. I always used to play stuff like that. But we were talking about games, and for whatever reason, my friend said that he didn't really consider me a gamer, even though I played games all the time. And I don't know, you know, when you're that age, you get into stupid arguments, and I got offended because I was stupid, and but it made me think, you know, what really is a gamer? You know, what kind of traits would I actually use to define a gamer? What kind of traits would you use to define a gamer? Because up until probably 5 minutes ago, I never really thought about it. You know, usually when I saw somebody, it's the kind of thing where you know it when you see it, but you can't really explain it. Or at least in my opinion it is. Because if I see somebody who plays, you know, Angry Birds on the iPhone, but that's about it, not really too into console games, and for the most part, you know, that's all they do. That's the only game they really play, Angry Birds on the iPhone. And I don't personally consider them to be a gamer. But in a moment of self-analyzation, I realize it's kind of an elitist view on things. You know, it's kind of a pompous look at gamers as a whole, or the gaming community as a whole, to believe that you can expel somebody from a group just because they don't fit into your definition of, you know, what that group consists of. And it would be, you know, very extreme to call that a form of segregation or prejudice, because it's not. But even so, it's very odd when I realize that there may be some guy out there who is very, you know, he's a hardcore Angry Birds fan, and he's really into Angry Birds and ways to, you know, knock down some planks of wood. And, you know, I don't like that game. But it's just weird when I realize that even, you know, small whimsical games and people involved in those kinds of things, even when it's not on major consoles, can still be considered gamers, you know? So, at this point, personally, my definition of a gamer would fall into anyone who plays video games, or anyone who has a passion for video games. Because simply playing a video game, I don't think truly is enough to make you a gamer, you know? I think a gamer would be somebody who plays video games regularly and has some kind of interest in them, even if it's a small one, you know? I think that definition needs to be kind of well established, not only from a personal standpoint, but also, you know, from a business standpoint. If you define anybody who plays anybody who has even a small interest in video games as a gamer, then, you know, a business can open up to a larger demographic. At the same time, though, when you have more variety in the group of people that you're trying to sell a game to, it's harder to please everyone. You can't please the masses. I think a perfect example would be the group that regularly plays, you know, solely Kinect games, or maybe solely Wii games, since they usually appeal to a younger demographic. It would be hard to make a hardcore game for the Wii, or, you know, a game that appeals to hardcore gamers for Kinect, because it's made for, you know, a younger demographic. It's made for people who are into more childish games, and that's not a bad thing, you know. I don't think that would expel them from the definition of what a gamer is. So personally, I think a gamer would have to be somebody who just enjoys playing video games. I think after thinking about the discussion that I had at 10 years old, or 11 years old, or however old I was, after thinking about that, I don't really like the elitist view on what a gamer is. I think we should just enjoy the games that we enjoy, whether it be shooters, horror games, you know, Super Mario Kart, or you know, Pokemon, Barbie horse adventures. I don't care. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're having fun playing the game. Because at the end of the day, that's what games are made for. Games are made for people to have fun playing them, no matter who you are. I believe they were created for people to just have fun with one another. I think those are two things that people can very easily have conversations while doing, are playing games and eating at the dinner table. It's just a very, you know, easygoing environment, and everyone has something in common there. You know, it's very easy for people to find some common ground in those two areas. So I don't think it's okay for people to pretend to be some kind of ambassador for gaming, for people to have an elitist attitude towards this type of thing. You can't expel people from your group when you're not the one who dictates who's in the group. All right. I think that in my eyes, the gaming community has grown exponentially within a few minutes, and I hope that it grows more with the more games that come out. So that's really all I got to say on that subject. I think the game ended flawless, 36-0. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. See you next video.